when Romania executed its dictator on live TV. Bro, for a country to fucking execute you together on TV, you had to be a terrible leader. How does that even happen? Yo, I'm just hoping one day in like North Korea, all the citizens just gather together. They're like, we're not accepting this. We're not accepting this, bro. And then they all just like storm the motherfucking North Korean government and shit and overthrow it. But like the thing is, I don't think they have a revolution in them, bro. Especially in North Korea. They make it so like the people don't even have motivation to do that. Like they break them down so much where they don't have the motivation. You a dictator too, you're next? What the fuck? Yo, y'all are not storming the capital of NFG. Down with Tommy. Viva revolution. You know what? Get mods, execute everybody in the chat now. No? You dare defy me? I'm overthrowing you too. What do I do, bro? It's game over. It's game over, man. All right, let's watch this video though. Holy.
It's the middle of December 1989. We're in the Palace Square in Bucharest, and it's nearly freezing. Over 50,000 people have been brought here. Many were taken straight from schools or their workplaces. Some have been standing in the cold for more than 5 hours, and they're all waiting for one man, Nicolae Ceausescu. For 24 years, he's ruled Romania with an iron fist. A few days earlier, protests broke out in Timișoara after a local priest criticised Ceausescu. When locals resisted his arrest, Ceausescu's soldiers opened fire. Now, news have spread and protests are...
A dictatorship, bro, is not possible in an environment where people have like free speech and democracy. You know what I mean? Let's say it got to the point people are saying, oh yeah, no, the US is turning dictatorship, this and that, which I don't think is true. Like, I think it is up things going on, but like if Trump tried to like run again, let's say, or stay in power, and he was like, all right, I'm staying here, it would literally be January 6th part 2, except everybody, I'm not even joking, would be like, get the fuck out. Everybody would be like, get out, you are not staying. Bro, if everybody comes together and gets pissed at a certain point, not the MAGA people, they'll probably still be fighting for him, some of them, but I guarantee even some of them too will be like, all right, bro, like it is not a popular thing for you to run for a third term. There's a reason why we have a constitution that was set in place where you can't run again, because it happened before and they realized it was a mistake. They said, all right, that shouldn't be a thing. That's not what America's about. It's been 2 terms for this long. Keep it like that, right? But yeah, genuinely, bro, a dictatorship does not work in a country with free speech. I don't think so. I don't know how free speech Romania was, but I'm gonna assume they all eventually, even what countries without free speech, bro, eventually shit gets overthrown if you just like try to rule with the iron fist. JFK tried to run 3 times. He did. He got assassinated, so it never happened or became a big thing. I never heard of that though.
Are erupting across the country. Desperate to restore his image, Ceausescu calls for a mass rally in Bucharest to be broadcast live on national television.
Okay.
It'll be the biggest mistake of his life.
Damn.
Ceausescu.
This dude must have been terrible, bro. For this many people, how did you know people would want Trump to run for a 3rd term? Yeah, they're fucking stupid, bro. They're chronically online. You ask the average person on the street, nobody would want that. Hey guys, Tommy NFG here. You know, only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on. I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it. You know, it doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams. You know, we have a lot of fun over there. I'm telling you, we have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Damn.
Steps out onto the balcony as he waves to the audience to the sound of almost deafening cheers. But something's off. Almost everyone in the crowd is standing completely still, except for a few people in the front rows.
I mean, real, if I'm him, I'm just running away. This is too many people saying, like, you gotta get out. Or are they fans of him? No, it's a protest. Oh, hell no.
Cheering is fake. It's actually a pre-recorded track blasting from huge speakers around the square.
Oh.
Then, Ceausescu starts his speech. And at first, things seem to be going rather well.
Okay.
But then, just as he's in the middle of thanking the organisers of the rally, screams can be heard from somewhere back in the crowd. This is not part of the pre-recorded track.
Giving him fake cheers.
Someone is shooting, his wife Elena shouts.
Whew.
They're entering the building.
And then he's just gonna stay there?
His security guard says.
Yeah, he's dumb as hell.
Off camera, demonstrators have broken through barriers and are heading toward the Central Committee building right where Ceausescu is standing. The cameraman has had specific instructions to point it toward the sky if something...
Bro, I always get scared of things like this because I'm like, bro, imagine being an event like this where it's like, you don't know what's about to happen, bro. Events like this are way too intense, to be honest. Even protests, bro. If it's like one of those like massive protests, I don't even like groups of people. Like, I don't like being around like super large groups of people tight together. That's not me. But especially if it's like one of those like violent protests, bro, I'm out. I'm immediately out. As soon as niggas start throwing, I don't know, fucking fireballs and shit, cops come in with riot shields, I'm out. It's not even worth it. I don't know what's about to happen. It's not worth it. I'm out.
Unexpected happens. The demonstrators are now directly below Ceausescu, and both him and Elena are shouting at them, telling them to stay back. This is a provocation, Nikolai says to himself, as he and his wife continue to shout at the demonstrators.
Riot shields and rubber bullets, yeah, I'm good.
Somehow, the security guards actually manage to push the crowd back behind the barriers.
Okay.
But it's too late. And even as Ceausescu continues his speech by announcing sudden wage increases and higher pensions, after the
why he got them Adolf movements though, bro? Yeah, I didn't even see it.
Continues his speech by announcing sudden wage increases and higher pensions.
Got them Adolf movements, bro. That's how you know he was a dictator.
Speech ends, many in the crowd refuse to go home. They've had enough of the lies, the repression, and of Ceausescu. They spread through Bucharest, shouting things like, "Down with Ceausescu," and calling for freedom. And when Ceausescu hears of this, he's outraged. Still in Bucharest, he orders tanks, soldiers, and his very own secret police to crush the...
This can only escalate things, bro. You, as the leader of a country, bringing in tanks against your own citizens because they're protesting, bro, that is just a different level of, like, you being incompetent, bro. You're bringing the military against your citizens.
By any means
China,
necessary.
1989.
And so, they do. Protesters are shot in the streets, and those who've barricaded themselves are hit by snipers positioned on top of many of the buildings. By morning, there's so much blood in the streets that the military needs to hose it with huge water cannons just to get it off the asphalt. Meanwhile, Ceausescu is still in Bucharest, and he's relieved. He's convinced that the uprising has been crushed. Surely, now, everything will
be crushed, bro. You just killed a bunch of your citizens. It's not going to be crushed. It's not going to end there.
Be back to normal, he tells his wife, Elena. But he's wrong. Before dawn, the first reports come in that massive columns of workers are leaving their factories and heading toward the city centre. And something's changed. The soldiers and police sent out to control them suddenly refuse to shoot. And actually join the protesters instead. Ceausescu immediately holds a crisis.
Imagine him, he was probably staring like, oh shit. You just look outside and you're like, yeah, soldiers, go, and they're like, no, and you're like, oh damn, I got no power anymore. The power of a leader is literally just based off their military and soldiers. If their military and soldiers are not listening, it's over. They have no power.
This meeting with the remaining members of the Communist Party's Politburo in the Central Committee building. At the same time, hundreds of thousands of demonstrators now surround the Central Committee headquarters, and they're starting to break in. With protesters minutes away from reaching their offices,
look how packed it is.
Ceausescu orders his pilot to bring a helicopter to the roof. Both
Nah.
Nikolai and Elena are visibly shaken.
It's so funny, bro. Every time with like these dictators that take over a country, then they get overthrown, they always like leave. They're like, oh shit, call the escape plan.
And have to be carried aboard by their bodyguards. Their faces are completely drained of colour. Together with two senior officials and two bodyguards, they squeeze into the helicopter and take off minutes before the protesters reach the rooftop.
Wow.
The pilot immediately heads toward Ceausescu's residence in Snagov, north of the city.
Bro, why would he not just leave the country?
Nikolai,
you don't think people are going to be waiting there or going there?
Tries to summon military assistance and orders the pilot to get two helicopters with soldiers as an escort. The answer from the other end, however, is clear. They're on their own.
How does it get to this point where like everybody starts agreeing? And keep in mind, this is before social media. Like nowadays, let's say something like this in a hypothetical scenario happened in the US, it's like very easy. Social media, everybody's just like, yeah, don't do it, this and that. And then everybody's soldiers like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it, this and that. How did they do this back then? Surrounded by Europe countries and would get arrested. Oh, the leader? Okay, yeah.
Coming to help.
That makes sense then.
The pilot convinces the Ceausescus to take off again quickly, leaving the two officials
behind. How bad of a leader you gotta
to
be?
lighten
Your
the
own
load.
men don't like you. Nobody likes you.
Nikolai instructs the pilot to fly toward the western city of Titu, hoping to reach a loyal garrison. But suddenly,
They
a
don't like
message
him.
crackles over the radio. All flights are grounded. Any unidentified aircraft will be shot down.
Nah,
So they have to land.
it's over.
The pilot puts them down by a road between Bucharest and Târgoviște. And with that, the Ceausescus now find themselves on their own, with just 2 security guards. After a while, they manage to hijack a passing car.
Bro, the security guards are idiots, bro. If I see everybody dipping on the leader of the country, the fuck, I'm out, nigga. I'm out. No survival instincts, bro. How much longer until Trump gets this treatment? Literally, for Trump to get something like this, he would have to put in martial law for no reason. He'd have to put martial law and be like, I'm staying in power. I'm not gonna leave. If he does that, it's game over, bro. I don't even think he's stupid enough to do that. No matter how much people say it online, bro. If that happens, it's over.
A bicycle mechanic who drives them toward the town of Târgoviște. On the way, the Ceausescus listen in horror as the car radio plays a news report about the Uprising's victory in Bucharest. The bicycle mechanic, Petrișor, suggests they hide at an agricultural institute on the outskirts of the city. When they arrive, the institute director shoves the couple into a room and locks the door, trapping them inside. Shortly after, local police arrest both Ceausescus and hand them over to a nearby military barracks in the city for the next few days. The new government is determined to bring both to trial as quickly as possible. And so,
Damn, they got a new government just like that?
the day after their capture, Iliescu, the new head of state, signs a decree establishing an extraordinary military tribunal to be carried out immediately at the barracks where they're held. Here, they're accused of genocide, of destroying the country's economy, and attempting to flee with over $1 billion in foreign banks.
I'm be honest, y'all. There's only one plausible country I see potentially having this happen. Starts with the I, ends with the L. I'm gonna act like Dora. Can you guess which country I'm talking about that may happen?
As their crimes are read to them, Nikolai simply laughs.
Italy. I said starts with the I, ends with the L. How did you get Italy? No, Israel, yeah. Bro, the way it's looking right now, bro. Netanyahu's probably the most unpopular leader to exist, next to like Kim Jong-un and shit. Nobody fucking likes him, bro. If he tries to cling on power, stay there, it's probably raps for him, bro. I'm telling you, I don't think in a modern developed society, bro, a leader could try to do that. I really don't. If they tried to do this back then and failed dictators, it's not gonna work right now.
The trial is brief and largely for show. It lasts about 2 hours and takes place without any real possibility for defence or appeal. Ceausescu himself refuses to recognise the court and calls it illegal.
You have no power, bro. It's game over. What are you gonna do? You're not the leader anymore.
It doesn't matter.
You're a
The
citizen.
tribunal finds both him and Elena guilty. The sentence, for both, is death by firing squad.
God
And the
damn.
execution will happen immediately. Straight away, Nikolai tries to appeal the decision, but he's denied.
The fact that they got this all on camera too. Wow. I'm surprised I've never heard about this in history. Did y'all hear about this? I never heard about this. Sayonara, amigo.
Before being led out of the room, Nikolai turns to the guards and says he wants to be executed alongside Elena. They accept.
Oh my god, it's on
Meanwhile, a soldier returns with rope to tie their hands.
Yo, this
But
on
neither-
video?
Neither Nikolai nor Elena wants to be restrained.
They got packed.
Both argue with the soldiers, saying there's no need
Bro, it's crazy. In other countries, like, they do not play with shit, bro. They're just like, all right, right here, it's over for you. We're doing it right here.
for it,
No
and
wait
that they're
time,
not going to run.
No years in prison, you just out.
But again, they're denied. They're then led out into the courtyard and
Romanian
placed
people?
against a wall to the barracks. Elena begins to scream insults at the execution squad in rage. Other accounts say that she starts crying. Nikolai, on the other hand, remains relatively calm in his final seconds and begins singing the first line of the Internationale, the workers' international battle song.
Okay, bro. Damn.
The very next day, Romanian television shows footage of the two bodies at the foot of the barracks wall as final proof that the Ceausescus are gone.
Yo! Yeah, W pack, but damn. Holy shit. Wait, I want to see the picture. I'm not going to show it on stream. Yeah, they really did that shit. They really did that shit.
In May 1990, Romania held its first free elections since 1937. Over the next 2 decades, it joined NATO, entered the European Union, and began rebuilding.
Damn, that was a good video. Damn. Hey, good thing they recovered their country, because holy shit, it could have been bad, bro. Imagine, like, they never did that, and then he just stayed in power, and then bro would have been dead. He looked old. Anyways, yeah, if you're watching the 2, make sure to join the Discord and watch streams.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.